So many of the parents I work with are very frustrated with their child who is a picky eater, and they think it is a food problem. Sometimes it is. Sometimes there's texture sensitivities or sensitivities to smell or the appearance of a food. But oftentimes, more often than not, I find that it's sort of the dynamic between the child and the parent that's a little bit off track, and it may be the feeding style of the parent that isn't helping. So we know there are 3 feeding styles: controlling feeding style, indulgent feeding style, and diplomatic feeding style. I just did a video over on my YT platform about the controlling feeding style. I also did one about the diplomatic feeding style. But in a nutshell, we want to be diplomatic feeders, meaning we want to, as parents, be in charge of what the menu is, where meals and snacks are happening, meaning the location, and when they are happening, so the timing. The child is in charge of whether they eat what you make and how much they eat. We call this the division of responsibility. Ellen Satter created this, but when we look at feeding, we can extend that into feeding styles and feeding practices. So if you have the controlling feeding style, you're going to be more likely to pressure your child to take another bite of food, to try something new. They might have to earn their dessert. They might have to sit at the table until they clean their plate. I was a member of the Clean Plate Club when I was a kid. It does not do well for children to grow up in that feeding environment, because what happens is they tune off or they tune out from their internal sense of appetite. They eat for other reasons. Somebody telling them to eat, somebody telling them to eat something or to eat a certain amount of something. And that's not what we want to do with kids. We want to help our children rely on their internal sensations of appetite to gauge what and how much they eat. We also want to support their autonomy, their body autonomy. And so if you find yourself dictating or becoming more controlling around food and at the dinner table, you need to step back and really learn more about your feeding style and learn more about them in general and see if they're actually, what you're doing is actually helping your child or really holding them in that picky eating stage.